everybody, it's me, truck driver Sean. I'm here today to do a really cool video. It's been a minute since I've had like a sponsored video. Sort of kind of sponsored, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but I asked about, well, someone asked me, a bunch of people actually asked me. So then I turned around and reached out to Facebook and Instagram to see if I could borrow some of these. These are called Hot Mods by Legendary Tones. So I had a bunch of friends that reached out like, hey, I think I might be able to get you one of those from my buddy who has one. And then I got reached out to by the man over there himself, and he sent me out this. The Mr. Scary. It's basically the evolution of George Lynch's module. And yeah, I've already played these, so I'd be familiar with them. So I'm going to tell you right now, this thing here is ridiculous. And because people usually use it on low gain amps or high gain amps that don't really have any like gain value. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they're not really pummeling, right? They're not rich or anything with gain. They're kind of like a dry fart, right? That's usually what people use these for. And then after I gave him my address and everything, the Chug General, the man, the myth, the legend, Captain Killer Tones, Texas himself, Jason Frankhauser. What's up, Jason? He sent me the two that he had. All right, the Lynch Mod and the Hot Mod V2. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hook these up one at a time, and I'll have like a little picture that will sit like, yeah, little picture will sit right here. I had to look at the thing, but the camera's which would it be? I have a picture of it, the one that I'm actually using right here, and there'll be little words up above whether I have the, like on the Hot Mod V2, all you have is two switches. You have a bass switch and a gain switch. It'll say what is engaged and what is not engaged. I'm going to use my trusty steed, my Warrior amp of choice, my Republic X amp. For those of you who ask about that, yes, he's a small builder out of Texas. His name is Andrew. And someone asked me if they saw it right because of the price hike. Remember, everything costs more now, folks. You're not really going to find awesome amps for like $700-800. A decent amp, honestly, if someone's selling an amp for under $1,500, it's 50 watts or more and it's tube driven, ask questions, okay? Ask lots of questions. Where is it made? How dependable is it? You know, you get what you pay for. If you're paying a lot of money, sometimes, yes, you are paying for the name, but do a little research. Don't believe people on the internet, okay? I don't have any insider information to give you on how to spend your money. I like a different sound than other people. Like, I had Sean Ward over the other day, which we didn't get to film any videos because he put all my guitars up on the wall for me and put my amp together with its custom box. So basically I slave drove him all day. But we did tinker, he was with me when I tinkered with these. So huge shout out to Sean Ward from Ward Guitar Cabinets just for being a cool ass friggin' human being. All right. I guess to do them in order, I'm going to do the Hot Mod V2 first. So we're going to hook it up to the Republic. I'm going to put everything in the Republic on 50%, except for the gain will be on 25%. Okay? Just to refresh for the people who have like, they're like, what did you just say? All right? Everything at 50%, except for the gain, which will be at 25%. We'll get a real look at what this thing does. And then we will turn the gain up. I don't dare to go any further than halfway because these things right here, they're not a gimmick. Okay? I'm going to put that right out there now, and a lot of people say, it's just a gimmick. No. These actually work. We're going to hook up to the Arachnid 2x12 that I had custom made for me in my stupid truck driver tone colors. And that's mic'd up because it was requested to be hooked up with an SM57. That's it. That goes directly into this camera, which is a Zoom QN8, the cheapest way to make YouTube videos other than using a cell phone on the planet. Captain Cheapy Pants. But I'm not hiding anything. I'm not putting this on the computer. Literally, I take the SD card out of that, slap it on my phone, onto YouTube it goes. Only thing I do is I can chop like parts of me hooking things up. I can chop that away. One time I was wearing shorts that probably a little too short, and I caught that my left nut popped out of my pants. So yeah, I got rid of that because, you know, demonetization, right? And getting kicked off YouTube. It's a hobby of mine. I don't want to like get kicked off. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very wise idea. All right, very cool. So let's get these hooked up. I've talked enough. Anyway, huge thanks to Jason Frankhauser and for Legendary Tones for hooking me up with being able to do this, because it's been highly requested on my channel. And to be completely transparent, the Mr. Scary was sent to me by Legendary Tones. I was not told to say anything. I was not told to do anything except for have fun. So what I'll be doing with these is I'm going to, every amp I can actually put it in, throughout time you're going to see, oh, there's another video with him using the Mr. Scary. Oh, there's another video with him using the Mr. Scary. It's through a different amp that you may or may not be familiar with. I kind of have a Mod Podge weird collection of amps that not everybody has. But I put this into an amp that I know outperforms anything in its price bracket. And the result was not what I expected. It was 100 times more than what I thought I was going to get. So let's see what I'm talking about, all right? Watch my little creepy intro thing, and I'll hook this up while you do that. Technically, it takes a lot longer to hook it up because it's only like 11 seconds, but you get the idea. See you in a jiffy. All right. Be right back. Yeah, right after the intro. What's going on, everybody? So we're back. I have the Hot Mod V2 put in here. All the situations are on 50%. You know, the bass, the treble, the mids. So the amp is running on neutral, except for the gain is on 25%. Right now on the Hot Mod, the bass and gain is disengaged. It's turned off. So again, you're going to see, like over here, the picture of the mod I'm using and what's engaged and what is not. Will be written right up above it. So in case the class didn't pay attention, back up, I'm not repeating myself. All right, let's see what she do. Sorry about the elongated jam there, but when something sounds so good, you just gotta fucking jam. Sorry, but just gotta jam. I love this amp. I have never one time since putting my fingers on this thing, which the whole story behind this amp I need to tell again. I might tell it when I revamp it. I'm going to be... Huge thanks again to Sean Ward of Ward Guitar Cabinets is going to make a head shell for me. Fun fact, if you want to make a head shell for you, get a hold of him. He loves making them. Does charge though. Don't expect freebie shit. Don't expect freebie shit. Pay the man. Does good work. Alright, so this is without the amp being dialed in, which is bananas. I'm not even going to spend my time dialing in. Maybe I will at the end of the video. This is already going to be longer than I care to talk about. I might even break it up into part 1, the V2, part 2, the Lynch Mod, part 3, the Mr. Scary, and I don't know. I might just keep having fun with it because really at the end of the day, this is a really, really useful tool. It's not a gimmick. It's not a toy. It's an actual useful tool. And none for nothing. It took a high gain amp that's already very harmonically rich. It's got a good pound to it. And even though you're adding all that extra power It's almost like an overdrive pedal or a boost pedal when you're trying to tighten things up and really push that amp to the where you want it to go. It kind of does that with a simple 2-switch method. You put it in, you set it, you forget it, you just have a good time. My amp has not run any hotter. That was another thing people were saying, like, it runs real hot, dude, you want to be careful. Trust me, I'm careful as shit with this amp, because if anything ever happened to it, I'd cry. Something could happen to any of the other ones. This one, I'd cry. I fucking love this amp. So, it just destroys. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the Lynch Mod in, which is essentially the same thing, except for now you get a depth instead of bass, which is a little different. If you've ever had an amp that has depth and presence or resonance and presence, you'll understand the difference in that, and you can control the gain instead of it just being on and off. You can actually add what you want. And it could be the placebo effect. It could be reality. We do not know at this point in time because, yeah, we just don't know at this time. I don't know. I'm not in an actual studio where I can look at how much power is being thrown, so, yeah. That's actually something when Jason gets his back, maybe he'll do, because he's real smart with that stuff, or anybody else who has one that has an actual recording studio could actually look and see how much power it's actually throwing, but I'm going to say it has more gain. Does it? Hell if I know. But anyway, let's put that Lynch Mod in here, and we'll, do the exact same thing with different riffs with the Lynch Mod. Lynch Mod. All right. Yeah. So, no intro music, no nothing this time. Maybe I'll put it like a big picture of it growing like a wiener in the night of the Lynch Mod, so you can get a good look at it. That sexy little beast. Other than that, it'll be sitting over here like your mom's left titty. All right. I'll be back. All right, so we're back. I have the Lynch Mod in there again, gain 25%. Everything else in the middle, and let's see what we get. Again, that thing is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And this one, I'm gonna say, is too much gain when you're running just the gain on halfway on your amp. But what's awesome about this, instead of just having a switch that goes up, you can actually dial that gain back and find your sweet spot. Having the depth instead of a bass for that much gain definitely works. But you can also see where that comes in real handy. Like I already have a depth on my head, but the way it works, it doesn't muck up your stuff. It actually richens your high gain situation, which I didn't see that coming with these. I gotta be honest with you. I thought it was gonna turn into like this firestorm of a real shitty mess. But what it's actually done is taken a great amp and kind of gave it a gold sticker and a pat on the back and a big line of Coke. Like the good stuff too, not the stepped on by baking soda 30 times stuff. Like the good stuff, like when you sniff it and your right nostril, your left eye bleeds, that stuff. It's awesome. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. Like, I'm legitimately gonna, like, I was very fortunate and I was given the Mr. Scary, but I'm gonna buy the other two because they all are a little different. And they're fucking great. You know? It's just, it's a great product. And for something that I used to look at as like, I don't know, a tchotchke, right? I was wrong. These things are phenomenal. They are a smart, useful piece of gear. And I think more people should be talking about them. I know a lot of YouTubers have done them, and they've done these quick little things, and then you never hear about it again. You're going to see, at least the Mr. Scary for right now on my channel, a lot. It's going to be too fun to chuck that thing and see what it does into other stuff. I'm going to throw it in everything. Fun fact, I was talking to the dude at Legendary Tones. His name has skipped me because I am horrible with names. I'm an absolute dickhead. If I don't remember your name, it's not because I don't give a shit. It's because I'm old and my brain is on the wrong side of the curve. He's going to send me an adapter for amps that don't have uppers and they're flat with the thing. so I can use them in amps like that, which is going to be really cool. So I got a couple amps here I'd like to try it with, but I can't. So homeboy's going to fix that up, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully he'll take some money for it. He already gave me one module. That's enough giveaways. But yeah, I'm one of those weird YouTubers. I pay for my shit when I can, right? Okay, well anyway, let's get up to Mr. Scary and see why George needed to change his recipe. Because this, I can't imagine why it'd be any better. And I tinkered with them yesterday, but I didn't really see the difference until I really listened to the richness of how it's working. And that's really what kind of gives it that like little more focus, we'll call it. All right? So yeah, you can hit pause, go get yourself a beer. I'm going to have coffee. Like, I ain't even going to lie. When I hit pause on this, I'm having coffee. I might even hit the friggin' douche canoe, a.k.a. the vape from hell. And I'm not even going to feel bad about it, because you're not going to know. Well, you're going to know I'm going to drink coffee, because I picked the cup up, and once it gets this close to my lips, it's going in my mouth. Ask your mom. All right, here we go. Devil Mountain Coffee, man. If you've never tried it, just fucking try it. It's so good. The caffeine in it, too, will make your fucking taint vibrate. Like, it's great stuff. See you in a second with the Mr. Scary mod. Alright, so we have the good old Mr. Scary in there. And remember I said there's a slight little difference? Okay, so the Lynch mod, to my knowledge, is no longer available, which is kind of sad to me because it kind of has its own little character. And that being, George decided he wanted a little more focus, so instead of having two 12AX7s, they replaced one of the 12AX7s with a 12AXT, AT7? The hell are those things called? 12AT7? Cheat sheet! Yeah, 12AT7 from a 12AX7. Alright? So yeah, let's see the difference. It's not a big difference, but it is a difference. So again, we're at 50% gain. All switches and stuff are off in the back. Everything is at 50% on the panel. Let's just play some caveman riffs. Here we go. Yes, mate! Fucking love that thing. So what do you get? More articulation. Like, literally, if you're gonna play, like, anything close to, like, genty, or you want real good clarity, but you like, especially if you're, like, a really tubby amp. This is not a tubby amp. This amp right here doesn't need fucking a goddamn thing, but it's so good. Like, I can't stress it enough. It's not a gimmick. They're not really all that expensive for what you get, if you think about it. Again, the Lynch Mod, you'd have to find one used. They're no longer in production from what I can tell from the website. I really should have reached out and asked first before I open up my mouth, but I'm going to go with, once it was replaced with what they consider a better module, it become null void. Personally, I think it should still be made because there's a place for it, and depending on what you're doing, one is better than the other. It's very situational. It just is. There's no other way to put it. But I guess if you want this to be kind of as tubby as the other one, you could take the 12 AT7, right? Yeah, AT7 out and replace it with a 12 AX7, I believe. I'll definitely check with Legendary Tones before taking my word on that, because me no. I don't ask questions, okay? Do what I do. Ask questions. But the thing is phenomenal. If you want to get just the V2, you're looking at $249 plus, like, basically $10 shipping. And when you order it, it's not like it's going to be there in a day. These are made one by one in America by a dude. It's not mass produced in China or mass produced in some shop. One at a time. Handmade in America. They're built rock solid. They're actually really heavy, which I was surprised, because usually stuff like that, you try to use the lightest stuff possible. These are so heavy that if you don't have the right insert, they just fall right over because they're fucking heavy. But yeah, they're awesome. They and high quality. They're not a gimmick. Again, you've heard I don't cover nothing up. You got the 12, the SM57 is directly aimed at the DV77 by Eminence. Coming straight out of this. No noise gate, no nothing. It's literally just the module. That's it. And the Republic, which is a one-channel amp. There's nothing. And I've got my signature DB Guitars limp pin. Lynch pin. Limp pin. It's a limp pin. It's limping, yo. My Lynch pin. Yeah. Before you laugh, we've actually sold one. So, that's all I had to do, sell one, and I'm happy. I was like, damn, somebody gives a shit. But anyway, $249 for the V2 Evo, they're calling it, because the regular V2 doesn't exist anymore. Because they did the same thing with the Evo, I believe. They changed out from having two AX7s to an AX7 and an AT7. Again, ask questions, because sometimes me say some dumb shit. And if you want the Mr. Scary, you're looking at $319 plus your $10 shipping. Again, they're made one at a time. So if you order it, it's not going to be there in 2 days. You're going to, hold your horses. It's coming. The dude is a legit, just really nice guy, and he's super energetic and excited when somebody wants to try his stuff or when someone buys his stuff, because him himself wants to know, okay, well, what's this going to do with this? Like, I know what it does with my couple amps, but what's it do with his amps? Well, this guy's got this amp. I've never heard it through that amp before. Whether it's a low gain amp, a high gain amp, it's got its place, and it does phenomenal things. Like putting it into a high gain amp, I don't need nothing. I need a little bit of a noise gate, but whether that's in there or not, I like whisper quiet. So I need a noise gate even without the mod in there. And it adds almost none. Maybe 2% more floor noise. No, but nothing to really go,
Well, because I put that in there, I need to put the fucking gate on.
No, it doesn't add enough to change what you already have. If you have zero noise floor, you might get a but if you have no noise floor at all, that little it's not gonna bother you. If it does, you're just a fucking asshole. Yeah, I said it. You're a fucking asshole. But anyway, huge thanks to Legendary Tones and for Jason Frankhauser over at Killer Tone, Texas, for sending me out some modules, and big thanks to Legendary Tones for giving me the Mr. Scary. That's I just wanted to borrow one. Yeah. So yes, this video has been possible because of those two entities. I will be sending Jason's back to him because I don't like to hold people's gear hostage, but I might hold it hostage until I see Sean Ward again, because by then it'll be a couple weeks to a month. Depends on what Jason has planned. But Legendary Tones should have me out the extension so we can try this really crappy, like, hybrid Marshall that Sean has. It's a valve state that has a 112AX7 and it doesn't have enough gain to do shit. We're going to see what happens when we throw these things into that. For science. Alright, very cool. Thank you for tuning in. If you were watching this long-winded fucking facade, 1, thank you. 2, please subscribe to my channel. Every subscriber helps, so when I ask to borrow gear, people are like, dude, no one watches your shit. And you would not be wrong. Like, my views are not great, but I don't do this for a living. I literally do this just to see what stuff does, and it entertains me, and it gives me something to do. Yeah, I'm old enough now where I don't drink and do drugs. I'm pretty fucking boring. So, I do this stuff. I have fun with it. It's just fun. Like, yes, I can answer questions seriously. If you have questions on anything I use on my channel, please. Even if I don't use it on my channel, if I have the knowledge, I've borrowed a ton of stuff that some stuff just doesn't work for me. And I don't want to make videos of stuff and go, look how bad this is. The only time I do that is when somebody's like, this is the best thing ever. My shit's the best. And then it's not. Oh, yeah. I make sure people see that because he's telling everybody that, right? I mean, you have to be proud of your stuff, but don't say it's the best if it's not even fucking close. I will shit on it like a sumo wrestler with diarrhea, I promise. But anyway, huge thanks again. I know people have been asking me to use the Republic again. It's not because I don't like this amp. I am now endorsed by Redbeard Amps. I try to use Redbeard stuff when I can because, well, what's the sense of having an endorsement if you never use the products? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy who goes, look at all the endorsements I got, and then I use 900 other things. I use what I want to use, don't get me wrong. If I wanted to play my Driftwood today, I'm going to play it. And Redbeard don't give a shit. He likes amps as much as I do. He just happens to build them. Same thing with my cabs. If I wanted to use a different cab, I could. Arachnid is way okay with me using other cabs, but none for nothing. Sorry, cab builders out there. He just does it better. Sorry. I love those are my forever cabs. They're never going anywhere. I think even if I lost my arms, couldn't play guitar, I'd keep those cabs because look at them. Shit, they're awesome. But yeah, same thing with the guitars. I play all kinds of different guitars. And only time I feel bad is like when I get 500,000 views on Facebook and I'm using a different guitar than what I'm endorsed by. Poor Royce. But Royce is my buddy. I've checked with him. He's all good with it. Everybody is. I'm not doing anything I ain't supposed to do. You know, if I'm endorsed by somebody, yes. I'm not taking an endorsement just because. I'm taking an endorsement because I actually use the product. Okay? It's like Ernie Ball. They offered me endorsement for strings. I said no. I use Diodario's. Why? In my opinion, Diodario is an infinitely better string than pretty much anything out there. And for their value, no one touches them. I don't give a fuck. They last good. They work good. They work good for me anyway, the way I play. And I use them by choice. Now, Diodario said, hey, we'd like to endorse you. Oh, yeah. Rub my belly. Make me feel good about myself. But if anybody else does, no. I use Diodario's. I'll try anything. You want to send me something to try? I will try it. But I'm not just taking endorsements for fun. I'm taking endorsements because I use the actual products. Okay? I figured I'd address that at the end of a video because no one really ever hangs around to the end. Like right now I could drop trow and do the helicopter with my dong. No one's ever going to see it. Except for the algorithm on YouTube. Because that algorithm's a creepy bitch. But yeah. See, I said that, didn't I? Alright. Very cool. Thank you everybody for tuning in, seriously. And again, all profanity and funny shit aside, serious huge thanks to Legendary Tones and Jason Frankhauser for hooking me up with probably, this is one of the funnest videos I've done in a really long time, and part of that is because I really thought those things were a gimmick. I really did. And I started seeing people doing reviews with them, and I know these people are very much manipulating their stuff because I've seen how they do what they do. But it was enough to make me curious to want to try it. Plus, subscribers and followers and on Instagram and Facebook have been asking me, like, hey, have you ever tried these? And the answer is no, so why sit there and call them a gimmick and shit on them without trying them? I am guilty of that like everybody else. The internet's a poisonous place. But I am here to say that I have tested these things in a very non-biased way, and I will own them. First one I'm going to track down, though, is that Lynch Mod, because that's going to be the hard one to find. And now that I told you guys it's hard to find, I'm going to be erasing all you fucking assholes. I got like 1 day on you guys, 2 days on you. Yeah, I got 2 days on you to find one. Because it's good. If anything, if I had to like press any information on to Legendary Tones, would be start making that again. It's okay to have one of each. Or I could be right about they're exactly the same, you just got to change the tube out. If that's the case, then okay, I don't need to track one down unless I just want to have all three to make it look pretty as a set, but I don't know. I think one of these amps probably is going to start a thing where I'm going to start having those things live in my amps. Because I don't travel with my amps very often. If I did, these come in and out extremely easy. So if you have to travel, you just pop it out, put it in your guitar case. When you get to where you're going, you sit it back down in. You're good to go. It's that simple. Changing tubes is just like changing tubes in your amp. Super simple. Okay? Very cool. Any questions, please feel free to ask out. If you want exact information, reach out to Legendary Tones. The man that runs that place is a phenomenal human being. He will take the time to talk about it. He's very excited about the product that he makes. He's very proud of the product that he makes. And he's not trying to sell it to you. But he's very happy if somebody asks questions about it. Which, that's a good sign of a builder who's doing it for the right reasons, in my opinion. As someone who deals a lot with gear, someone who's trying to sell you something, like they're on your ass to sell it, is it really that good? You know? Is it really that good? Versus just getting the information you need. It's not about selling it to me. It's about just giving me the information. And when you get a guy who's just super passionate about what he's talking about, and he gives you that information, and you ask him, well, what about this? And if he doesn't know, he'll go, I don't know how it works with that. No one's ever given me any feedback. Well, here I am with amps that a lot of people don't have, and he's going to have some feedback. You're going to have feedback because I share with everything, good or bad. I've decided with that module, as you can tell with the Republic, which takes everything like a champ, really, this amp is worth the money. You ever see one floating around, or when he has one up for sale because he finished it, buy it. I don't tell people to buy anything, but really, buy it, because it's amazing. But you have to like one channel amp, so you got to have that, be that guy that says fuck cleans, right? I did say I wasn't going to say any more nasty words, but here we go. In my potty mouth. All right, I'm going to get out of here because I've already sucked way more time out of your life than you needed to have sucked out. Okay? Very cool. Catch you in the next video, which I don't even know when that will be because I am out of time. Okay? Very cool. Later, folks.